Hey, 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 what's up, y'all in America? America, as you say. Either you say America or you mean America. I'm not sure. But either way, I say America because it's not really my country, but that's a whole nother show. That's not the show we doing today. That's a too controversial show. But for the show we doing today, we'll just call it America. And so on my mind for the moment is I want to know what's up with the girls. Like seriously, girls, what are y'all doing? Like everything I ever see, and I'm a guy, I like seeing it. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing your body. Okay, I love your body. Your body's gorgeous. Thank God for your body. But do I really have to like every time I go to Instagram? Like, are y'all serious right now? Like, I'm not even trying to like get in trouble when I open my phone in a public place. I was just trying to look up what the message was that came on my, you know what I'm saying? And I'm standing at the bank and I got to worry about the lady next to me going, "Oh, you sick pervert." No, I didn't know she was going to be. No, I mean, you know, what what was I how would you know? So I don't know. I look at it like this. Maybe there are some women who are out there who just feel like, this body conscious. I get the body consciousness argument. I get the empowerment argument. Like, hey, I'm empowered because I got this OF page and I'm showing off my stuff and I'm getting paid on my stuff. And I get it. I get it, kinda. But then I also say, but not everybody is a super freak. Like, if everybody's a super freak, then what makes it so special? Like, everybody's doing it. Now everybody's trying to do that like make some money from my trunk off showing my junk type of vibe. And it just makes me curious, like, how did we go to that? Like it literally happened recently. How did we go from where we saw nothing all the time to now we see more than enough all the time? It's pretty interesting. So if you have some thoughts on it, I'd love to hear from you. Please send us your email. Thoughts, convictions, ideas, opinions. We love all of that on the Ace Michael Show. My question is really, what up with these girls? What up with them? They didn't go on berserk. Anyway, that's my question. Today on the show, I have a first timer on the show, never been on Ace Michael's show before. We're going to get her indoctrinated into our program here. Welcome, my beautiful friend, actress and model, Silvia Torres is with us. Or do you say Silvia Torres? Torres is with us today. Hi, Sylvia. How you doing? Welcome to the Ace Michael Show, darling.
Hello, I'm doing amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you
you
for
are.
having me.
Yeah, you are doing amazing. Absolutely. So, Sylvia, you are a lot of different things. You got some titles that only an Aries person like yourself could carry. What? Tell us what all of it. Bring it. Bring it. What are you all doing?
So, to start off with, I am a mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I hold my cape for all our mama bears. I am a model, brand ambassador. I am a barber apprentice. I
Yeah.
do have a sweets business. I do it all.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's talk about them. So, you modeling. I guess we start there, right? Was that the first career?
Modeling?
Yeah.
Actually, no, my sweet business was my first career. I was working at an ice cream shop and then I learned how to do everything. I learned how to make ice cream, all the sweets, all the treats, and then from there I started my own little business.
Nice. And so the sweets business is it's a good business, I would imagine, because that's got to be a pretty profitable business.
Yes, correct.
Wow. And so you got into that because you had a part-time job doing it. But why not have gotten into something else? Like what was it about the sweets business that made you attracted to it?
I just found a passion for it.
Hmm. And so
I found
no, you go ahead, love. I'm sorry.
I just found a passion for it with my community. I would make them for fun for like family parties, for gatherings, and then a lot of my family, my friends just started telling me like, "Wow, your sweets are really good.
Hmm.
You should start selling them." And then from there, before I knew it, I started with 5 customers, went to 10, went to 20, next thing you know, 50.
What?
And then they kept going and growing.
So you're doing this like a legit business. This is not a part-time hustle. This is not
Oh no,
a
this
side
this
hustle.
no, that business pays my bills.
Wow. And so you do sweets. So I presume that means ice cream, but I also get the idea that it's not just ice cream.
No, it's not. I actually don't do ice cream. I actually am really known for chili covered apples.
What in the
That's like my
world?
specialty. Yeah, people are like, they know caramel apples. Well, I sell chili covered apples.
Chili covered apples. Interesting. And how much does a chili covered apple go for?
It goes from $10 just with the stick and 15 prepared. So prepared, I put lemon, chamoy, chili candies, all the little secret ingredients. I make it with love.
Oh. And is it like an apple on a stick, I would imagine?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, see, you got me at $10, and I'm too cheap for a $10 apple. You are totally priced out of my range. I'm like, man, I could get a seed and make me my own apple tree for $10. No, I'm kidding. No, it sounds like it's really good. So where do you sell these treats at? Do you go to like schools? Do you have a like a
Well, it just depends. I worked art shows. I do like a lot of pop-ups.
wow,
Just depends the day or the mood. Like I said, I'm a hustler. I'm not afraid to go out to parks. I don't hesitate to go to a parking lot from Walmart, a market.
wow.
If the bills need to be paid and I have the business, well, then I'm gonna go out there and sell my business and put myself out there.
Right. And this is exactly that. This is your own business. So you don't have to deal with the partner or you can say, I'm going to do this when I need to or when I want to, and you don't have to deal with a
Correct.
bunch of
I make
drama.
my
Right.
schedule. I choose the days I'm gonna sell, when I'm gonna go get my supplies, make my things, how many hours,
Yeah. That's
and
smart.
that's what I love about it. It gives me the freedom to balance the stay home vibes, kind of entrepreneur, boss mom. I'm able to like balance them, so I love it.
And isn't that's kind of the American thing now? Would you agree? Like doing your own business. Like if you think you're going to make it and get rich working for somebody else's company anymore, the corporate dream that we used to have, I don't think that
Yeah,
dream
no,
is going to happen anymore. I mean, do you agree?
I totally agree. And it's only gonna burn you out, and you're only gonna have be mentally stressed out from having to work all those hours and still not make it and still have to balance out babysitters and all of that. So I definitely I vouch for women that they may not think that they can't make it starting a business, but yes, they can. I'm here to say if you have the business plan, start it. And if you have to start small, we all start from somewhere, but do it. And you'll have the freedom to build your own schedule and take care of your kids and not miss out on anything.
And speaking of your kids, would you make this a family business? Like, do you going to
Oh,
train your kids to do
this
this
is
too?
definitely a family business. My oldest son is 10 and he runs the business. Everybody knows it. My family, my friends, my customers, they all tell me like, this is his business. You're just the supplier. I'm literally the investor. He has his customers. He gets off. He's very determined. He knows what to do.
Yes.
It's definitely, I would say it's mine and my kids' business.
I think that's a good way to go. Like you train your kids. It's generational wealth, is what that is.
Yes.
That's exactly what that is. You're giving your kids the opportunity to not be in the rat race. Hello, the rat
Yes.
race is not what we're trying to do here, people. Yeah, exactly. That's really good. And so they learn. Keeps them off the streets, keeps them focused on doing something positive. And I'm sure people have gathered from the sound of your voice and the accent that you are also Latin. You've got some Latin culture.
Yes, correct. So I am half Mexican, half Puerto Rican.
Wow. Very fiery lady. And
Yes.
so then, so watch yourself. Watch yourself,
Yes.
buddy.
I definitely do have that Boricua fuego in me.
You're gonna mess around and get a fuego apple. You mess around too much, but you better watch yourself. Watch yourself.
Mhm.
Very cool. And so then, and that says a lot too. Like, I'm a black man, so I understand for us as what they call us minorities, we have to start our own future. We have to make our own fortune because there literally is no one handing out opportunity like, oh, well, hey, let's give this ethnic person an opportunity to run our company.
No.
Okay, please. So we have to do it all on our own. And then what about being a woman in this marketplace? Like, is it dominated with a lot of women doing this type of thing, or are you the only one out there doing it?
I know that there's a lot of women. Going back to your question when you were saying about women, OnlyFans, all of that,
Right.
um, I definitely think that a lot of us women have gotten carried away wanting to take that route, or we think like that's the route we want to take.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here to vouch for women that it's okay if it's going to take you longer. It's okay if you're not out there doing what other women are doing. Sometimes the career or the business is going to take longer to build if you don't take the world's route. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay because if you build on sand, then it doesn't last. But if you
Correct.
sustain and you build your foundation with the Lord, it definitely will be strong and you will build something with a strong foundation. So I definitely do know that there's a lot of other women that are just like me. They're selling sweets, burritos, food, all kinds
Mm-hmm.
of different things. And they're doing the same thing that I'm doing. They're selling to the people in their neighborhood through we're blessed that we have social media. It's a blessing to have social media where you're able to post and use your platform to promote your business. So I definitely do know that there's a lot of other women like me.
And without having the residual drama down the road of saying, I used to do something that now it's come out that I used to do it, and well, all I did was sell apples with some cinnamon on them. I mean, that's I ain't
Yeah,
worried about somebody finding out about that. But if I was out there doing something else, I got to worry for the whole rest of my life because it doesn't go away. It's on the internet. It's gonna be found.
yeah.
Like, it's gonna be found. You're gonna see it. Somebody gonna find out, and then you got to deal with that. And so, what about your entertainment? Because you're on the show today because you are an entertainer. You're going to be hosting our upcoming event with the Old School Show, and you're going to be doing the music awards, the Maxim Jazz Music Awards. So, how did you get into the modeling and entertainment business? Because you have a whole nother business. You could have just done that. That would have been enough. That's one boss title.
Like you said, um, I am born April 10. I am a Aries. I am very, very impatient. I love to do so many things. I just cannot stick to one thing.
Okay.
Um, Modeling did come around after maybe 2, 3 years of me running in my sweets business. I did get the opportunity where I would I think it was Facebook at the time, and I started having a lot of like directors reach out to me, telling me if I wanted to get into modeling. I was very young at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I never really took it serious until one day I was like, you know what? I'm getting casted. I liked the numbers they gave me, and I went and I came out in my first music video, and ever
Mm.
since then, I never stopped. I've been in over maybe 50, 60 music videos. I've gotten paid for skits. I've done promo modeling for a lot of big liquor brands.
Wow.
I love it. I love social media. I love doing content. I do content creation. I love doing promo work. I love working trade shows. I just love it. And it never feels like work. It just came naturally. Even when I
Wow.
do acting, it's just me. I think I definitely could say I have like that star in me.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, you mentioned something that you said briefly, but then you went to another topic. And I don't want to drop this in the middle without really going into this, because this is one of my favorite topics. Let's talk about God. So you got involved in the industry, and thank God you didn't have any. Well, I don't know what you had, but I would presume you didn't have any harrowing adventure that kept you from wanting to pursue it. You didn't have too many bad experiences. It doesn't sound like. But then you see, you mentioned God. So where does God figure into your success? Is your success
Um,
mostly God, or did you just happen to be in the right place at the right time? You just,
no, what do
you know?
God is everything.
Okay.
God is everything. When you put God first, everything, you have to be obedient. I wasn't always in the middle of my business journey, my modeling journey. I also still was this girl who was in her 20s who wasn't always obedient to God. I knew of God, but not until the past 3 years is when these past 3 years that have passed, I really build my relationship with Him and being obedient, because there was a time and place of my life where I did get carried away by the world, and I
Mm-hmm.
did become a dancer for a while, and a lot of people do not know this.
Mm.
It's not hidden, but I was very disobedient a time in my life, and I found that I was chasing money with no purpose. I felt very empty, and I knew that I was meant for so much more, and I gave my life to God. And ever since then, so many blessings have came, and I put Him before anything. And that's why I'm here to vouch for girls that they don't have to take the dancing route. They don't have to take the fast money route, the OnlyFans route. Like, there's another route that might be, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be from God. And when you take
Hmm.
that route, it's a blessing, and you have so much more peace and so much more happiness. So I'm here to vouch for girls.
And I want to, and thank you for that. I want to say this little piece. I'll never be a girl, obviously, but I have found in a similar fashion that the world keeps telling you you got to do this to make money, you got to do that to make money, but
No.
they don't care about you. And so what happens is you follow their advice. You go out and you do something, you sell your soul a little
Yeah.
teeny bit here and little teeny bit there and a little teeny bit there, then pretty soon you don't recognize yourself. And
Yep.
you've done all this stuff because you thought this was the way, this was what you had to do because they told you this is how you'll make it. But then you don't end up making it. All you end up doing is making them money. Would you
Yep.
agree?
And
Like
then you,
they're making it, you're not making
yep.
it, you
And you
know?
end up just as empty as them without not realizing that that's not what brings happiness.
Exactly. When I lived in LA, and I lived in LA for 20 years. So when I first had moved to LA, I didn't know anybody, didn't know anything about, well, just didn't know nothing. I was young, didn't know a doggone thing. And I had run into a group of people that were living a fast, high life, beautiful cars, beautiful houses, celebrities, all this kind of stuff. I could name drop, but it would just be stupid. And so one day, while sitting at the pool in Beverly Hills at a beautiful house that my friend owned, I just started thinking about his life. And I was like, he's not faithful to his wife. He barely knows his kids. He doesn't have anything really besides this money. And I've never even really seen the money. I just keep hearing that he's got money, but I don't know that he's really got this money. Matter of fact, I don't even know if most of the stuff he tells me is even true,
Yeah.
right? It just seems like it's a whole bunch of iconic things. It's a bunch of like, we'll just say, kind of free with the truth, if you will. I don't know how much of it is a real life and how much is a lie life, but I just started thinking about him and all the people I knew, and yeah, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of power, but they're not happy, and I don't want to be them you know and when I think about that, I want to say to people, and I think you'll agree, you want to be happy, right?
Yeah.
What's the good of having this life if you don't get your dreams because you just sell yourself out? Why?
There's nothing like being happy and having peace and and real blessings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then speaking of the real blessings, I want to say, and I think you'll agree with this too, I got more blessings. Like my career took off when I left those people alone. Even though the only reason I was with those people was because those people were supposed to open doors. But as soon as I walked away from those people, so many things just fell into place. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing because I gave it to God. I was like, you know what?
Yep.
If God intends for me to do these things, then God is going to have me do these things. And I want to be able to sleep at night. Oh, it's a sad story about Usher, you know? So here's Usher talking about Diddy did this and Diddy did that. And it's like, you know what? You did that. You did those things. I mean, Diddy's evil for introducing you to anything as a minor,
Yeah.
but you did it because you thought you had to. You thought that's what was going to make you famous. That's what's
Yeah.
going to put you in that limelight, didn't you? Didn't you, though? Right? And it stands for so much not to do it. That's one of the things that I really admire about you, Sylvia, is that you stand for what you stand for, and you don't go for everything because you stand for what you stand for. So, where did you get these values from? Did you come from a background, like a family background, where you guys were growing up on faith?
Um, well, I grew up Catholic. I
Mm,
grew up going to church. I grew up in a home that prayed a lot. My stepdad is he has a really big faith. He texts me every day. I have a really big relationship with him. All he does is talk about God.
hmm,
Um, I've always prayed. I've always, even in the middle of my disobedience era,
hmm.
I look back sometimes and look at like my old stories. I knew that I was always getting tugged by God. I just never let him in.
Mm. So you were having an experience where you kind of knew things, you knew better, but you weren't doing it, which is pretty typical because we got to remember, like, there are people spending billions of dollars. These companies are spending billions of dollars to seduce us. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're
Yeah,
telling us how we're supposed to look. They're telling us what we're supposed to wear. They're even monitoring the things that we like on social media and then throwing those things back at us to be like, okay, well, if you looked at this particular piece of content, we're going to flood your box with more of that because we want you to buy stuff. You know,
yeah,
and they don't care about you. They're not, even with AI stuff that's going on, all the AI stuff is geared towards somebody else making money off of your desire. It's not, hey, this AI is going to help you become a better person or help you live a happier life. No, they don't care about what you're going through. They just want to make more money off of you. Are you
yes,
lonely?
correct.
Here's a companion. You lazy? Here's a way to write a letter. So you don't have to write it. We'll write it for you, but you're going to pay us to
Hmm.
write it for you, right? So all this kind of stuff. What are your goals in entertainment, Sylvia?
My goals in entertainment, I do have a YouTube channel. I do have plans to start posting more, build my platform. What I do plan to get into acting. I love acting.
Hmm.
It's very natural. So I definitely manifesting some commercials, movies, all of that.
Nice. So let's say that we have a time machine, which we don't, just so you know, but if we did, right? Let's say we had a time machine and you could go back and talk to the 20 ish Sylvia. What advice would you give her?
What advice? I definitely think I would tell her that to run to God and not run to the world.
Mm. Mm.
That's the number one thing I would tell her. Like when I was hurt or when she was hurting, that to run to God, because He was the one that has the answers. He has the real answers that the world's never gonna have.
Mm. Wow. That is some real talk right there. That is some real talk. I used to say, I still say it, but I don't get to say it so much. I used to say, let God be your pilot because no one else really knows the way,
Yeah.
which I think is true. Like, if you're going through something in your life, usually you're kind of allowing it to happen. Does that make sense? Would you agree? Like,
Yes, I agree.
you could stop it, but you're telling yourself this story like, well, he loves me. Well, these are my friends. Well, I don't want to lose the car that they let me drive or the house that they let me live in. And then all of the things that are attached to that are going to be your payback because you wouldn't just have the faith to just leave and go and follow God and follow the path that God has for you. So then you stick in this situation that eventually explodes. And then when
Yeah.
it explodes and you find yourself either sitting in jail or sitting behind the bus or whatever you end up, however you end up, the first thought that goes through your head is, and tell me if you agree, the first thought that goes through your head is, I knew I should have listened
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Being obedient is the hardest thing. That's what happens is being obedient to what you know is right and what you want is so hard, especially
God.
when you're young and you're growing and you think you know it all. That's why it's a learning. Life is definitely a learning journey.
And then there's that seduction too. Like people will say, "Well, we'll give you this much money if you just do this." Like, and what about like the content of people? Like, I don't dislike Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or Megan Stallion. I think they're all great, talented artists. But I also wonder if what they're doing is what they really want to do. Is that really what you want to say? Or are you saying what you think the record company will sell more records if you act this way, wear these scantily clothes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How much of it is really you, and how much of it is the temptation of the quick, easy money that won't last because someone like Cardi and Megan, hopefully they live to be in their 90s, but I don't think they'll still be able to come out and be performing in their 90s because they're going to be passe because they did what the world wanted. And now the world has moved on. The world's on some whole nother stuff that
Yeah.
you have to keep changing yourself to measure up. And that shouldn't be the way it is. That's what I think.
Correct.
You know. All right. So tell me about your kids. So your kids are growing up. Are they also entertainment kids?
Yes, they are. My oldest daughter, they both, my 10 years old and 12, both been in music videos.
Okay. Stage mama. Go ahead. All right. So
Yes, they've been booked for YouTube videos, for
of course.
skits. They definitely have the same star. They like to be in front of the camera.
Hmm.
So they definitely, my smallest, he's still small. He's only 6, but he's not new to the whole entertainment, the camera, all of that. It's
Hmm.
something normal in my household.
And so do you want your kids to be famous celebrity kids? Like in your
They
heart as a mom, is that what you want to see happen?
Even if I didn't want to, they want to, and it's their dreams. And as
Wow.
a mom, I'm here to support their dreams. My smallest, my 10 years old, my kids are not on social media. I'm not a really big fan of letting them run their own program, but I just recently made my 10 years old a TikTok. It is going to be ran by me, and
Hmm.
he does want to do like he's really big. My household, we're really big on mental health.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yes, really, really big on mental health, healing. So my son's gonna start his journey of helping other kids know like giving tips and showing them his daily life on how to deal with like mental health, anxiety, stress. So his platform um will be taking off soon.
Well, very cool. And so you're kind of mentoring them in how to do this successfully because there's a whole lot of platform on the internet that the kids really shouldn't have anything to do with. And I'm with you there. Like I used to say about my kids, I didn't even want them to have their pictures on the internet. You don't need to be on the internet. That's too much exposure too fast. You don't need it. You just don't need it. Well, now they're a bit older, my kids, and so they can do kind of what they want. But it's still, I think it's the same thing. Like, the internet is not a place for nurturing. It's
No.
just not. Like, it's literally, you could wake up having a good morning, and then I dare you, wake up one morning, spend the first 15 minutes without the internet. Don't even open your phone. Give yourself 15 minutes at least. Don't open your phone. Don't check your messages. Don't do anything. After that 15 minutes, open your phone. Watch how your mood changes.
Yeah, I definitely am really big on being disciplined. The first 2 hours that I wake up, I go into prayer. I like to listen to like motivational like videos. I don't wake up and go straight to the world because if I do, then the brain is just full of chaos. And I tell that to everybody. Yes, no, I tell that's why I'm really big on fasting. I fast. There's when I feel like I'm very drained or I feel like not my faith is not where it needs to be, I have to disconnect. I have days where I disconnect from the world. I won't answer texts, calls. I'll
Mm,
just spend a day praying. I won't listen to worldly music. My kids also are not allowed to watch anything outside of like God cartoons. And
mm.
I go into like these deep um days where it's just me and God and building myself and closing the world off because the world is, oh, you scrolled and you seen this and you seen that and the world
Mhm.
this and that and all
Mhm.
of that just causes chaos and anxiety. And when you're on a mission and you're growing and you have kids and you're living for God, then you have to know what works for you and what doesn't.
Now, see, I didn't know that they had God cartoons. I might get into some God cartoons if I if I was gonna do it. What's interesting about that too was my son. My son's 15, and he and I were hanging out, and I wasn't feeling real well, so I was laying in the bed, and he was watching TV, and I was just kind of zoning out. But I kept hearing all this like really gross stuff was happening, like murderous type of stuff, and the dialogue was really wild. And so I was like, "What are you watching?" And he said, "Oh, I'm watching Squid Game." And I said, "Squid Game? I don't know much about that, but I know that's something about people are dying or something. Isn't it something about a competition where people are killing each other or something like that?" He's like,
Yes, correct.
"Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." And I said, "No, no, 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 no." And so from that moment, literally that moment, I said, no matter what, he's 15. So, I mean, I'm not going to keep you from watching horror movies. I can't stop you from watching, if you want to see something, you're 15, you're going to find it, whether you find it with me or not. But here's what our new rule is going to be: you're going to watch the last hour before you go to bed. You're going to watch positive, motivation, spiritual, or
Yes.
something uplifting. That's going to be your goal. You can watch whatever you want in the day if you really want to watch that stuff. I said, but I guarantee you, if you do this motivation for let's give it a week, I bet you won't want to watch Squid Game anymore.
Hmm.
And I can't attest to what happened to him because those are his own internal feelings. But I know I did it. I know that when I would watch the worldly shows that were the most popular dramatic series and then I would go to bed, I wouldn't sleep as well. So, and I know that because I stopped doing it. And when I stopped doing it for about a week, then I accidentally watched one and I had terrible nightmares.
Yep, your body, you reject it. I don't have we don't have Netflix in my household.
Right. Good for you.
There's no Netflix here. Um, there is Disney Plus, but phones and screen time is earned in my house because I'm really big on my kids' mental health.
She
I'm
said
very
screen
serious. A
time.
lot of people are like, "Oh, wow," but it works for me and it
You
works for my kids.
you said the screen time is earned. You're like, okay, now after you wash the dishes, you get 2 minutes of screen time, right?
Yeah,
The screen time earned.
there's definitely it has to be earned. There's no binge watching. There's no. My three kids, my 6 years old, even my 6 years old goes to the gym. All three of them getting up because we're going to the gym. Put your headphones on. It's time to go work out and get your guys' mind right.
And can you tell a noticeable difference between the way your kids behave and other kids behave because of that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You literally can tell, like you can see it.
Yeah, I can tell the difference of a kid's mental health and tantrums and all of that
Hmm.
when, and I know because I have my kids haven't always had this discipline, but if I get knocked out of my routine, say I go on vacation 3, 4 days and come back home, it takes me time to build up my routine again. And I see the difference of how my kids act and other kids act because there has to be a structure. Kids are not supposed to be on screens 3, 4 hours watching random things, ads, all kinds of different things. Kids should have structure, what time they go to bed. There should be there should be a schedule, there should be structure, and I'm very big. As soon as my kids wake up, my two youngest, they go into a bubble bath before bed,
Hmm.
before school with Epsom salt, and they have the TV in the restroom with little lights, and they listen to morning prayers and motivational, positive things because I need
Wow.
to wake them up and I need them to start their morning being positive because I'm very big on energy. I have very high vibration. So if I'm around anything that's low vibration, even if my child has bad energy, it'll just my nervous system will reject it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I have to constantly be positive, throw positive vibes, and I know what works for me and what doesn't work. So I definitely can see the difference when other kids are their poor babies are running, their brains are being fried. And that's where the tantrums come, and that's where they act the way they act because kids are not meant to have all of that in their brain.
Well, and this is probably the last thing I'll have time to even say on this show. But a lot of parents are basically co-parenting their kids with Netflix. They're sitting their kid down in front of TV for hours instead of spending that time. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I know I'm going to get your mail. I already know. I'm not trying to say I'm a perfect dad. I'm far
No,
from the perfect dad, but this is something that has been proven. If you want to go with science, it's scientifically proven. It's common sense. Like your kids. If you're going to sit your kids down in front of Stranger Things every week and let them binge watch people
mm-mm,
getting mutilated and murdered. When your kids decide to go and do some horrendous thing, you can't say, "Well, I didn't know." Well, where were you? What were you doing?
exactly.
What were you putting into them to help them not be that? Well, I don't know. Okay, well that's the problem. That's it. Whoa, we're out of time. Sylvia Torres, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I want to thank you for all the good and blessings that you're bringing forward. All the things that you're doing are good things. It sounds like you got the kids on a really good, righteous path. How do we stalk you on social media? We want to follow you now. We want to
So
become
you can
fans.
find me on Instagram, Sylvia official underscore.
Nice. And your Sylvia is the Silvia Sylvia.
Correct.
To me, that's the right Sylvia. That other Sylvia throws me off a little bit. So that's the way Sylvia is supposed to be done. And Sylvia Torres, that is cool. We got you coming up on a couple of shows down the road. Anything you want to plug? You got any movies coming out or anything else you want to tell us about before we go?
Um, they could follow me on social media, have a lot of content. I'm in my content creation era, so they could go ahead and follow me. I post a lot of healing tips, journeys. I'm very positive, a lot of motivation for all my people that are my girlies that may be in the dancing industry or OF or whatever it is, and they want to make a change and they feel like they don't know where to change, they can go ahead and find my social media. My platform is based on nothing but healing and journeying and changing your life and knowing that Life is not over. You can start over and still build, and you might like your new chapter, your new story.
Me likey that. And what is that YouTube? We should go to the YouTube or send me the link so we can put it in this show link so they can check out your YouTube channel.
Yes, I'll go ahead and share my links. I also post a lot of insights of my days when I fast, a lot of days when I spend days healing. Instead of running to the world, or when I run to God, I post a lot of that. I'm very raw, very honest. My platform is it's real. It's not a fake platform.
Me lovey that. And you know, I can't end the show on a more positive note than that. Thank you guys for watching and listening to the Ace Michael Show today. You guys know what I say, and I still believe it and I still mean it. Live the life you love and love the life you live. Thank you.
Amen.